If you want to hear the song of finches, chickadees, and warblers, a bird feeder and the perfect combination of seed might be the best way to attract them to your backyard. Joining us now with advice on how to do that is the Preferred Perch's Sherrie Versluis. Good morning, Sherrie.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this weekend, I spent some time in my backyard, lots of birds. It was so lovely.
It's beautiful right now.
Which birds make the most lovely sound?
Well, the orioles are lovely, the goldfinches, of course, robins are always the first one to start the day.
Yes.
So, I mean, all of the songs right now are just amazing.
They are,
yeah.
and it just feels like they're super happy when you do things to attract them to your backyard, right?
And that's why people love them, for sure.
So what do you do? How do you bring them in and then make them stay?
Well, having habitat, first of all, so you want to hopefully be in an area where there's trees and habitat, because that's, of course, what's going to first invite them. And then having the right feeders with the right foods can make a huge difference in who's coming and the cleanliness and the types of birds you see.
Okay, so one of the things that I've learned this morning is that if you're going to get seed for your birds, sunflower seeds are the best way, and they make most birds happy, right?
Yes, it's the best universal food. People tend to think the more variety of food you have in a feeder, the more birds you'll get, but the more selection there is, the messier it is.
Okay.
Because then every bird comes digging through it to find what they like, and then people end up with a lot of stuff on the ground.
You know what? I have one of those, and I noticed that they were kicking that stuff all over the place.
That's right.
So
and
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're looking for the good stuff. So the sunflowers are the best. You can just get it in the shell or out of the shell. Some people prefer it out of the shell for the cleanliness.
So you don't get those little
holes
shells
left
everywhere.
behind. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about this bird feeder, because this is a really nice, it has a huge base, which is what you want. Why is this a good model?
So that particular style is when you have a tray at the bottom, it helps accommodate all sizes of birds. When you just have little perches, large birds, for example, like mourning doves, which are showing up right now, and blue jays would have a hard time. So the tray is an accommodation, but it also helps keep it clean. And that style of feeder just holds a good amount of food, keeps it dry, and it's weather resistant, so it's not a plastic that would break down in the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
When you have something like this, do you want to prop it on a branch and allow it to move freely in the wind, or does it have to be somewhat supported by another branch so it doesn't move so much?
No, the movement is fine because they're used to that. That feeder is made with steel and polycarbonate, so it is quite weighted already, and then when you have the food in it, it's just going to be a minimal swaying regardless. So yeah, and the birds are able to deal with that.
Okay, so that takes care of that. I was also asking about cardinals because I find they're beautiful, but they're rare in Manitoba.
They are. We do get sightings, and there are confirmed breeding pairs here, so I mean they are here, but it is a rare thing. So that's why having a tray, again, if a cardinal did happen to come to your yard, a tray would accommodate them.
Okay, so what else do you want to bring to your yard? You have this kind of feeder here.
Those are for the finches. So a lot of people call them wild canaries. They're the bright yellow little finches that come. Everybody loves them. They're one of the ones who sing
and they're
magical.
Small and they're beautiful.
Oh, they're
to look
lovely.
At. So what do you need to put in there to get them to eat in your yard?
Niger seed is one of the foods. They do also love the shelled sunflower, but the Niger seed feeders are designed only for the finches to come to them, so they're not chased away by other birds. So it's like a special spot for them.
Of course, hummingbirds are always a lovely sight in your backyard as well, and that's what this is?
That one is for the orioles, but it's similar to a hummingbird one, but you're right, they're both for sugar water, just a little bit of a different design. Orioles are a lot larger, so yeah, the sugar water feeders are for orioles and hummingbirds, and they're both arriving right now in big numbers, so everybody's very excited.
This is for orioles as well?
Yes.
And what you can do here, little cups, you can put some jam as well as oranges with these spikes, right?
That's right. We recommend the Concord grape jelly is the favorite for them, and you can just put the jelly in the cups, or there's just jelly feeders, and that brings orioles, warblers, even unique birds like catbirds. Gray catbirds will come to this, so there's some very cool birds you can see at these feeders.
Okay, and the other thing that we're going to talk about is seed. Last year I bought a big bag of seed, and then I opened it up this spring and it smelled rancid.
Yes.
You can put your bird seed in the freezer.
Yeah, absolutely. That would keep it fresh if you have something that you're not going through quick enough. But that's another reason to always buy things in smaller quantities, and that way you can buy it fresh.
And Preferred Perch is also celebrating its 30th anniversary.
Yes.
So congratulations to you, Sherrie, and the business. Of course, if you're looking for it yourself, here on St. Mary's Road.
Yes.